You want to so quickly partner with the accuser of the brethren. We don't want your subscription anyway. We're not interested in partnering with you. Someone who's going to jump on every bandwagon and every accusation, especially Jimmy Evans, who, as far as I'm concerned, behaved himself in a pristine manner. And if you've got a problem with me saying that, then we'd be happy to have you on to have that discussion, because what he said in those meetings, he seemed to be very patient to me, and very practical, very wise. And I've been very vocal about this, because if there's one person who did seem to do everything right and just had the hammer dropped on him, it was Jimmy Evans. Yeah. And I could not believe, we live in such a snowflake generation, I could not believe that he was attacked for saying your mom and your voice and your boss in ministry is the voice of God to you. It just, the idea that is in any way controversial, you guys got to grow up. Yeah. You got to grow up. Your parents are the voice of God to you. Yes, your pastors are the voice of God to you. Your leadership in ministry are the voice of God to you, unless they say something immoral, illegal, or unethical. And so there's just all this stuff kind of churns and bubbles and turns into something that's completely unrecognizable from where it started. And this spun off into other allegations that no one would have had really any issues with and wouldn't have gotten the time of day if it weren't for this horrendous allegation that was made against Daystar.
Now here,
you know when it is spiritual abuse, how you can identify it.
Absolutely. So one of the things we want to talk about is how Joni elevates herself and is elevated by Jimmy to this equivalence of being a divine authority.
Yeah, this is just a black hole that every word, every conversation is going to get sucked into the black hole, and it's just going to keep feeding this until you submit. And submission means she's the voice of God to you. Now, I pastored for 30 years in Amarillo, and I had a wonderful relationship with all the elders. And I said,
I'm sorry, can you clarify? You said she's the voice of God to me?
She's the voice of God to you.
So God's voice is...
So I have to hear, I can hear from God, I have to hear from her?
Outside of Daystar. What she says is God in Daystar. This is the voice of God in Daystar now.
But what accountability does she have if she's off?
Well, she has a husband. She has a board.
I'm on the board.
Yeah, but you're not, individually, you're not her accountability. Individually, you're her employee. And I'm
no,
saying,
I mean,
wait a minute, Jonathan.
I have accountability.
She's the voice of God in Daystar.
No, there's no other accountability
Romans
at Daystar.
13 tells us to submit to authority, all authority, because it's established by God, and it's the minister.
No, but I'm saying
even civil authority.
But who is her accountability at Daystar?